evening, Cross Timbers. This is a special edition of Texan TV News from Tarleton State University campus in Stephenville, Texas, and I'm Ian Traub. Tragedy has struck the Tarleton State community this Super Bowl weekend. The United States' deadliest sniper, Chris Kyle, along with his friend and fellow veteran Chad Littlefield, were murdered at the Rough Creek Lodge shooting range in Glenroe, Texas, Saturday. Kyle and Littlefield arrived at the range around 3:15 p.m. and were found dead at 5 p.m., according to Erath County Sheriff Tommy Bryant. Police apprehended Eddie Ray Ruth, a 25-year-old former Marine and veteran of Iraq and Afghanistan, on 2 warrants for murder and 1 warrant for capital murder. According to Captain Jason Upshaw of the Erath County Sheriff's Office, Ruth was arrested on I-35 near Camp Wisdom in Lancaster, Texas, some 75 miles northeast of Rough Creek Lodge, at 8:34 p.m. Saturday after fleeing his home in Lancaster. Just over a year ago, Ruth was arrested by the Alvarado Police Department and was convicted of driving while intoxicated on January 3rd, and is said to suffer from post-traumatic stress disorder. Ruth was allegedly taken to the shooting range as part of his PTSD treatment by fellow veterans Kyle and Littlefield. Kyle is a co-founding member of Fitco Cares Foundation, which seeks to provide veterans with counseling and exercise equipment in order to help them readjust to civilian life. Kyle and Littlefield were shot multiple times at close range with a semi-automatic handgun, according to the Sheriff's Office. Ruth is being held in the Erath County Jail on a $3 million bond. Erath County District Attorney Alan Nash, in the press conference this afternoon, said, quote, "Our overarching goal is to seek justice for these victims and dispense justice to the perpetrators through due process." Texan News Service staff writer Kaylee Bedingfield recently conducted one of the last, if not the last, interview with Kyle on January 28th, less than a week before his murder. The following are portions of the recording of that interview.
So within the past year, we've had your #1 New York Times bestseller, American Sniper. You were on NBC's television show Stars and Stripes, and then there's a talk about your movie being produced about your book and a lot of stuff with your Craft International. So you've been pretty busy this past year, right?
Oh, definitely. That, and then going off with spent a lot of time, especially this winter, taking the vets out to different hunts with them.
Oh, really? Now we're doing some hunts at?
It depends. We've had a lot of people reach out. I've offer up different places. I've been able to take them, as far as Colorado, but mainly we're staying here in Texas, going to different ranches, and some of these places have high fences, so we're able to shoot exotics or, really nice-sized bucks.
Okay. Very cool. And how do the vets, do they really enjoy their time, are they getting just to sit down and talk with you a lot, or what are they doing?
Well, it's completely different. When they're in the hospital and they're supposed to be either doing, healing physically or emotionally, it sucks to be trapped somewhere. So just being able to get out and about and only be surrounded by vets, and you don't have to worry about some psychiatrist or a doctor or something. You're just out there with the guys again, having fun, cutting up, and it's just being the outdoors. It seems to really progress their healing process, and they get along so much faster. The hospitals have now said, whenever you want them, you just take them, because when they come back, they're on a high for about 2 or 3 weeks.
Oh yeah, definitely. What do you think do you think it helps you in any way being with them?
It definitely helps. There's definitely a lot of hurt from losing my guys, or the fact that I got out and I felt like it wasn't my time yet. So
right.
Being able to do this makes me feel like I'm still a part of it and still give back. But I feel that we definitely owe these guys everything that we can give them.
Has your company, Craft International, grown a lot from all the achievements and everything that's been going on this past year? Has it just grown like exponentially, or what's been going on with that?
It's definitely growing, but whereas before we were just military and law enforcement, and now we've opened it up towards civilian stuff. So it's definitely, the exposure has helped bring more people in, but also with us opening it up to civilians. Civilians don't get to do the big machine gun shoots like in the military, so with us being a DoD contracting company, we're allowed to have all these weapons. So we take these people out, and whether it's a corporation that comes to us for a team building exercise or just a group of civilians to get together and they want to go play and shoot a bunch of guns. We offer a bunch of things that you could never own.
Right. Now, your company is located up in Dallas, correct?
It is, but most of our shooting that has been down in Glen Rose at a place called Rough Creek Lodge.
Okay. And I think I went and looked at your website a while back. You're actually going to be having like a thing going on there soon, aren't you?
Yes. March 1st is the next one coming up that is open enrollment, and then we are already setting a date for a second one because I think there's only a few slots left for March.
What kind of lasting impression would you want to leave? Like a legacy, I guess you could say.
I would love for people to be able to, when they think of me, think of, here's a guy who stood up for what he believed in and helped make a difference for the vets. Somebody who cared so much about them that he wanted them taken care of.
Kyle, a 38-year-old former Navy SEAL and Tarleton student, wrote the New York Times best-selling novel American Sniper, based on his experiences recording the most confirmed kills in the United States military history. Kyle earned 2 silver stars and 5 bronze medals for valor, recording 160 confirmed kills while serving 4 tours in Ramadi, Fallujah, and Sadr City, Iraq. Kyle was recently named one of Tarleton's outstanding young alumnus on January 26th and leaves behind a wife and 2 children aged 6 and 8. Tarleton President Dominic Tatavio said in a statement Saturday, quote, "Our hearts go out to Chris's family and friends at this tragic moment. We are proud of his exemplary service to our nation and are deeply saddened to hear the news of this tragic event." Kyle will be among the names honored during this year's Silver Tap ceremony at 7:15 p.m. on Thursday, April 11th. Tonight's special report was produced by myself, Landon Haston, Jacqueline Driscoll, Kaylee Bedingfield, Houston Hall, and Ashton Hamilton. You can follow the Texan News Service on Facebook and Twitter, as well as our website at www.texannews.net for updates on this developing story, as well as your daily dose of news from across the Cross Timbers region from the Tarleton State University campus in Stephenville, Texas. I'm Ian Trop, wishing the Kyle and Littlefield families and the Tarleton family as a whole all of the support and healing so drastically needed in these most troubling of times.